a 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hour session on a series called the Dialogue with the Coach. So every 3 months, we will have a Dialogue with the Coach, or in short, DWTC. We had the first one 3 months ago. And this 3 months later, that's today, we're having another one. And March, we will have our series 3. So we will keep this going and to discuss, to talk about, to share very important, very pertinent, very crucial, very important areas of coaching that, we have a platform like this kind, and we do the sharing and discussion. So today, are you all ready? Ready, yeah?
Yes.
You all ready? So you're ready,
Yes.
then I will go straight into it. I will show you the PowerPoint. Oh, this one. Can you see this? Can you see this?
Yes.
Can, okay. Just to make sure that a bit of housekeeping. Okay, this is a season greeting. It's end of the year kind of thing, So it'd be good to end the year, on something, on learning. So this time, what we'll be going through is, again, a Dialogue with the Coach series 2, with me, Michael here, on this topic called team coaching and the ICF competencies. Pathways to become a global team coach. So the focus is moving yourself from, not moving yourself, adding on to what you normally do as a personal coach. Now we explore this thing called a team coach. And this has become pretty important because many organizations are getting into team coaching right now. And ICF sees a need for it, sees a need for it. And that's the reason why for the first time in their life, or in the life of the coaching industry, there are competencies around not just personal coaching, but also team coaching. And we're going to spend that 1 hour today, or just a bit more than an hour, to talk about this whole matter. So I will move into it. So the agenda today is basically to explore this thing called team coaching, what it is, in perspective. We look at it, in comparison with others and so forth. And then we will dive into the how-to. We look at the team coaching model that we in CCA have. We have developed a model that we are using, and we want to share that model with you. And the ICF competencies. And while learning the competencies, we will have a little bit of a mini exercise. I'll ask you questions, and we'll try to answer, all in the context of team coaching. Okay, so that will be the only practice that we can have because we only have 1 hour together. Then we will end up with a quick dialogue session, on anything that you want to know about team coaching. We will do it there. And of course, finally, see you next year, 2021. So that's basically the agenda for today. Are you okay, dear friends, to go? Yes. Just say something, Just say something so that I am aware that you all are still around. Whether you're eating or not doesn't really matter, okay? Just that I know that you're around. Okay, let's dive into it. So let's look at this. Move this. The ICF team coaching definition. How ICF define team coaching? They define this way straight from them. Improvise a little bit here, and this is what they have defined what team coaching is. Can someone help to read this? Anyone? Maybe let me get, maybe Lilina, could you help to read this?
Yeah, sure. ICF team coaching definition is partnering the team in a co-creative and reflective process that inspires them to maximize their abilities and potential to reach their common purpose and shared goals.
Very good. Thank you so much. So there are a few key things here. It is a co-creative and a reflective process. There are two. Okay. So a team coach does two things. You co-create. So when you co-create, what do? You do brainstorming. You do facilitation. Okay. You stretch your coaching. You do this thing called divergent, convergent coaching. So you do a lot of this thing for the creative part of things. But it's also a reflective session. Reflective here means you say things like, can you all just pause for a moment, keep quiet for a while, and just think of this word, and you pick a keyword. Like for instance, I could just do this right now and say that let's close our eyes and reflect on this thing called reflective practice. When are times in your life where you actually put yourself into a reflective state in your own time? Okay, so that could be done. Why? Because you want this process to create awareness. Because when there's awareness, you inspire. And when you inspire, people will then find their potential. And all because of a common purpose and a shared goal by the team. So team coaching is different from group coaching. Okay, that's a big difference down there. Not a big difference, there is some difference. Team coaching has got shared goals and shared purpose. But in group coaching, the what you call the shared purpose and shared goal may not be there, because we can come in as individual, just like right now, we are here to learn on a subject called team coaching. But I have my own purpose why I'm here, and my reason as well why I am here. Okay, so that's the difference between that. Now, in a layman term, I define it something like this kind, or I pick it up as well from others. It's both an individual and team development process for the individual and the team. Both parties get developed at the same time, using the team platform to develop. And it's an integrated set of intervention, meaning what? Sometimes you coach, sometimes you mentor, sometimes you counsel, sometimes you do what is necessary, sometimes you put in an action learning project. There are various things that you put into the team to make it work. So a team coaching cannot be like a personal one where you can sit in a session for 10 sessions and doing the same thing, just sitting down and just chit-chatting. You can't do that in a team. If you do that, sitting down and just face the team and just chat, for every session, it will not be very effective. Okay, so it's integrated. So therefore, what does that mean? A team coach has to be multi-skilled in terms of a team. We call it a team coaching modalities. Like reflective session, co-creative session. Action learning project. They are able to use a couple of interventions. Why? Because they want to improve collaborative leadership and team performance. That means, in other words, in team coaching, there is also an element of team building. It is not just getting the goal. Yes, that's important, like the team performance or the team goal, but there's this other part of bringing people together in a very powerful way, using a learning way to connect people, rather than you just talk to them. Oh, be a good boy, be a good girl. Talk to him. He's also good. And then you're trying to persuade people without any kind of context. It's quite difficult. So when you make people work together, and that's where you strengthen team bond. So that's team coaching. Now, what is this integrated approach you talk about? Intervention. So you play the role of a coach. You play the role of a consultant. You play the role of a facilitator. You play the role of a mentor. You play the role of a trainer. Okay. And as a coach, you do things like you empower people. You build character, which is very important. The intrinsic side of people, the self-generative skills in people. And of course, you also help them to make behavioral change. The heart, head, and hand, good practices, good behaviors, like smile more, be more warm and all that. So that's the coach role. The intrinsic side, you can see from there, the coach side in team coaching is intrinsic. The extrinsic side will come under the consultant and the coach and the facilitator. Strategies, okay, processes, problem solving, okay. So they are skilled in those kind of things. And when you play mentor and trainer, you look at competencies, you look at skill building, you look at shared experiences, because you look at mentor shares. So all these roles come together in the role of a team coach. So therefore, in order for someone to migrate from personal coaching to team coaching, it's not just a walk in the park and you say, oh, I want to be a team coach, and you become a team coach. You would need other skills, like what is shown here, plus many more. Okay. Now, after this slide, I will stop for a while for some questions. Now, the case for and the opportunities. Why team coaching is becoming such a great thing now? Number one is, organizations have little time for team development. It's so important. Everybody, and it's becoming even more difficult right now because of the COVID thing. Everything is on virtual, even worse. Even before the COVID time, it was already quite difficult because everybody was trying to chasing after targets and so forth. You know what I mean? So the best place is to bring them together, work on a project, for the company, at the same time develop them at the same. So you do two things in one. And it's also known right now that interventions that focus on work together on a project, they are more effective than just, sorry, there's an S down there, just using interpersonal relationships. Like, just trying to tell a person to be a good man or be a good woman or to be a good manager, just talking and try to appease the person. That don't just work. Okay. So you use the team way to work. So that is your another selling point. And everybody learns through an integrated way. You can't put people in the classroom and you expect them to learn everything about what they need to know just in a classroom. You can't. You need to have that. And we as a team coach, we are like you sell that to an organization. We are people who have those kind of skills. We can brainstorm. We can get them to reflective practice. We can drive them. We can instill accountability in them. We will share knowledge as well with them because we are team coaches. So you become a greater attraction than just a pure trainer and so forth. And you want to build people together, resolve inter departmental conflicts and so forth, get them to work together. Invite them to a party. Let's just invite them to your house and sit down together. And now you see me, I see you. We then build better relationship. Of course, we have outdoor things like team building. Out in the marketplace, doing the same thing. Well, there's one way down there, but I think more effective is the team coaching way because the team coaching is over a period of time, whereas team building is after a 2 day, after a 3 day. You know that it's all gone. You know what I mean? And of course, community learning is the 21st way. It's the 21st century leadership way. Okay, so that is something that is coming. So people are coming together as group, virtual groups or face-to-face group. Okay. One more slide, and then we'll stop there just for a while. Now, just a quick one. How do they differ? I'm going to put it all here. You just browse through it yourself, and then if you have some question, you ask. But I put it all here for you. Enough of talking already. Okay, so this is the the what you call the differentiation, team coaching and others. Okay, so this is how they differ. Okay, so I just put you all through a reflective practice just now. Spend some time just reading and thinking. So now I would invite you all to ask your question. I'll stop the share just for a while. Huh? So, dear friends, any
Dr.
question, any
Mike,
sharing? Yes,
Patricia here.
yeah, Pat,
Sorry.
you finish your dinner already so far. You got
I've, yeah, I'm not yet. I'm still chewing.
okay.
Cannot see already.
Okay.
I just want to check what's the difference between team coaching and group coaching.
I just explained that. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Maybe you were getting your food. Okay, can someone explain that? If someone has just listened to me, can someone um, share with Patricia the difference between team coaching and group coaching? If you were listening.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, that makes okay. I'm now throwing it to the group. So this is another part of group coaching or team coaching. You always throw it back. Let the group own it rather than you try to answer it. We get a member from the group to answer this.
Can I try, Michael?
Yes. Will?
What I heard and understood earlier was for team coaching, actually the goal, right? It's pretty much shared, yeah, right? Whereby the group, it's very difficult, right? Because
Yes.
it's a large group. So that's
Yes.
one.
That's a key one. So they may have similar needs, but they have different goals. And our goals are different. Like for instance, the people who attend here, who are in this class right now, some of you may be thinking of moving in and becoming team coaches. Some of you may just want it for personal knowledge. Maybe there's something that you want to do later, but not now. So you want to know more about it. Or you're just driven by curiosity. So you come together as a group. You know, the needs may be different, but the goals definitely is different. We don't share that same goal. Whereas in team coaching, we share the same goal. Okay, so that's the key difference. Pat, are you okay with that? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And that can happen in an organization. We also have handled in an organization where we go down there as a group coach, but not as a team coach. Similar needs, but they have a different agenda. We are from different departments. My role and your role has got no interrelationship in and all that, but we come as separate entities, but under a group. Okay, so this is just some very important knowledge to know. Florence is here. Hi, Florence. To say hello to you. Nice to have you here, Florence.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late. I thought it was 8:30.
It's okay. No problem.
Okay.
It's an honor to have Florence here, you know.
To see the seafood talking
a very
for a long time.
distinguished, and a very distinguished, what you call leader in the ICF chapter.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Okay, any more questions? If not, I'm going to move, because time is of essence. So I'm going to go back into the slide again and share with you. So we were on this slide here, the difference between team coaching and all the other intervention. So now let's move. Now, so how do we do team coaching? Okay, what is the process? Okay, so I'm sharing with you a process that we use. Now, this thing called the protocol is something, those of you who are in CPC, Certified Professional Coach, you should remember this protocol. Let's say people like Lina, do you still remember? You did the CPC, right?
Not yet.
Oh, no, yeah, okay, no, then I picked the wrong
Going
one. Patricia should know, because Patricia went for the CPC. Florence also went through, but Florence, yours was a long time, so you're forgiven if you don't know this model.
Dr. Mike, also long time ago, 2014.
Okay, so this is basically the protocol. Okay, sometimes we call it 7, or we call it the 6 steps. Okay, we start with contracting, discovery, deep learning, action confirmation, tracking, and auditing. Okay, so this is professional coaching. We use this. Casual coaching, we use the milestone, the CCDO. So we try to differentiate what is casual and what is professional for purposes of learning. Okay, so upon this, underpinning the team coaching, I will show you some of those things that happens around the protocol. So you have this thing called control. I don't know. Okay, sorry, the numbering down there, 1.1, 1.2. It should be just 1. Okay, sorry about the little mistake here. So contract. In contract, you do a couple of things. Okay, like for instance, things like this kind. So you contract with the sponsor, you contract with the team. First, you identify the needs with the sponsor. Sponsor is the guy who pays for the engagement, and then you agree with the sponsor and also the team on the team coaching goal. Okay, the goal of that team that needs to be clear. Okay, you also clear, of course, engagement terms. Sometimes we call it ground rules. Okay, group of 12. In ICF, they've enlarged that. Usually it's 8, but now, if I'm not wrong, they have increased the number to 12, and it's considered as coaching if the numbers are they know that this is something coming very prominently into the market, so they are doing that. You agree on roles, you know, who is the main, who's the team leader, who is the scriber, who is the timekeeper, who is the whatever roles that you want them to play, you define the roles. You agree on frequency, when you want to meet, how often, once a month, once in 2 months, whatever. The duration of coaching, team coaching, usually it's 3 hours and 4 hours. So team coaching normally is not like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. It's difficult because you have like 5, 10 guys, 12 guys. Can you imagine how are you going to do that in 1 hour? So team coaching sessions are usually like half day kind of stuff. And the length, why is coaching? Because it's over period, 3 months to 6 months or even more. Okay. So this is something that you do in the contract side. And then you do the discovery. See, that's the second stage. Second stage is you want to assess every individual. Everyone in that group, in team coaching, is an individual member, but they are in a group. So we can know every one of them. Unlike in training programs, a trainer doesn't really need to know the participants, you know what I mean? In the sense that maybe just a little bit about where they are from and what kind of job, and that's about all, you know? They're not going to sit down together and have any session before that. But in team coaching, good practices, where you also spend time with an individual as much as you spend time with the team to assess the team needs, the team goals, the team challenges, and blah, 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 and what they want. So it's at two front, individual and team. Team here means the members. Okay, so when that is done, usually we do it, you use the, 360s, we use, all sort of instruments. Then you go into the deep learning. That's where the session starts. So in deep learning, the start of the session here is basically the kickoff by the senior management, a CEO or somebody very important down there. Okay, and that's where it's announced. Okay, what is the team goal? What is the plan? What is the everything that you have discussed, made a discovery from discovery? You do that over here in deep learning, and you facilitate your sessions here. Okay, facilitate to build the plan. To build that goal plan. Before you go into achieving the goal, we need to have a plan. So that goal is been facilitated, brainstorm and say, okay, to achieve this goal, these are the things that we need to do. Okay. So that's basically the thing that happens in deep learning. So deep learning can be a couple of sessions. And then after that, you go into this thing called action confirmation. Okay, these are all stuff that you learn in your CPC. So you finalize the goal plan, the team plan, okay, and also the accountabilities that each of the individuals should be taking on from a team side and from an individual side. Okay, they have roles. Okay, so that's clear, documented. Then you go into the tracking. This is where you have your individual sessions, then you have got your peer sessions, then you have your team sessions. So this is the integrated approach to move the individual, to move the team to achieve their goal. And finally, of course, you audit it, dialogue with the direct report to the senior management, blah, 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 post-assessment and all that kind of thing. So these are some of those things that we do. So these are like your SOPs. If when you get a coaching contract, a team coaching contract, there's something here that you can fall back on and modify it to suit your needs. Okay, but a mold has been provided for you. Okay, any questions? Am I moving too fast?
No.
Dear friends, am I too fast?
No, it's okay.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Fine. Okay. Now, this is a very important thing. You may have got some question that you want to ask before I go into the last part.
Dr. Mike.
Yes, who is this?
Yeah, Dr. Mike.
Who is this?
Yeah, Dr. Mike, Janice here.
Okay,
I just want to ask Janice, the individual assessment is done previously before the coaching session or during the first session?
It is, you can call it a first session. You can call it a first session. You can even call it a pre-session before the real session, because the real session formally it starts here at the deep learning. You know what I mean? Where they kick off and all these things. That's a lot of groundwork that you need to do, my dear. You just don't dive straight and open the door. Day one, okay, team coaching, team coach appear. Cannot. That doesn't work that way. Maybe it work, I don't know, for some people. But there's a lot of preparation work that you do before the kick off by by the senior management, because when the senior management will kick that off, they don't have enough. They know that they wanted to have team coaching, but they do not know much detail. So you have to do a lot of this kind of session with at the back door with the CEO, with the senior management team, with the stakeholders, with whoever it is, to clear that first. So now the company has a much more clearer idea. And when they do a kick off, they kick it off in a very clear way and communicate the right message and their requirements and what they want the team members to achieve for the investment that the company is putting on them.
Okay, so thanks. So another thing will be for the goal, right? For each and every session, is it only one goal, right?
One goal. One goal. Let's say for the goal could be, the goal is to solve to reduce costs in, let's say for instance, this is a session where you're bringing in all the top leaders of the company, the HR guy, the production guy, the finance guy, the marketing guy, and these are guys, okay, they are in. Now, COVID right now, okay, next year, they foresee a very bad time ahead. They really have to bring down the cost by 50%, they say. It's very drastic, but they still want the company to survive. Okay, now, let's sit down together with the CEO. Let's get a team coach to take us through how we can do it. So you have, therefore, the team goal, the organizational goal. But individually, me as let's say, assuming I'm in HR, if that 50% will also affect me, I got to bring down the cost of my own department, no. And together with the other departments, that will equal to a 50%. No? You follow what I'm trying to say? So that's why there is an individual side of it all, and the individual side is in a way related to the team goal of the bigger picture. So that's why it's called team coaching as opposed to group coaching. Group coaching is a bit more easier because, I don't really have to know you very much because everybody comes in from different organizations. They could be from different organizations. No, they could be from different backgrounds. No, so it's different. So the dynamics are a lot different from that compared to team coaching.
Okay, thanks.
Got it?
Yes.
Good question. Thank you for that. So anybody else who has any question that you want to ask?
Mike,
yes, dear.
Can you share with us what assessment do you use for the team assessment?
The team assessment, the best to me, is the one that's developed by you.
Okay.
As opposed to, yes. Why? Of course, you can buy a lot of instruments, out in the marketplace. There's so many that you can buy. They have really got 360 tools, but they are too tailor-made for certain things. Maybe they can be used. There's no problem. But I like to develop my own. Because when you do a team assessment, okay, a team assessment or an individual assessment, we normally do it in the form of a survey, okay, survey. It's not like, oh, I asked you about how you are, what are your strengths. Okay, of course we will do that. We will also ask your stakeholders. So these guys who are the interested party, the incumbent has got an interested party of, let's say, 7 or 8 people that they work very closely with. And this survey is done with them. It can be just a simple, questionnaire session, put them in a focus group and do that. And of course, it can go scale up to getting all the other professional instruments that are out in the marketplace to do that.
Okay. So the individual assessment also a self-developed one. We don't have to use, or I mean the customized one rather
you don't
than
have to
purchase from the shelf.
Yes, you don't have to. If you're a good coach, you can develop your own questionnaire. Anyway, there are enough, of those things around. We can know where to pick and what to pick and develop on our own, which is, I think, better because your survey crowd of people is not going to be like for the whole organization of 1,000, 2,000 people all going through the survey. No, it is very, very focused. It's very, very focused.
Okay.
And from a monetary perspective, when you develop this yourself, then you make more money. Otherwise, the third party will take half or more of whatever that you charge your client. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no harm if you feel that you want that kind of work, you want to use somebody else, please do that as well. Now, it's also very important to take note. Behind the team coach, you have got a support system. You got people to support you on the administration and the operations. If you have a team of, let's say, 10, 12 people that you are coaching, you need to, just not yourself. First thing, you need to have co-coaches. Next thing, you're going to have a support team supporting you as well. Okay, so these are all the infrastructures that you need to put in place. But it's possible, okay? It's not like it's impossible. Okay, so this is the little that I can share with you on how to the modus operandi of group coaching. Now I'm going to move now to the next one here called the ICF competencies. That's what we are here for. Now, so ICF from next year onwards actually has going to have a set of what they call team coaching competencies. Okay, I put an 8 down there for after you know why I put an 8 down there. And also, of course, along the way, we will also look at some best practices, how we can do that together with the understanding of the ICF competency. Okay, so I let me move straight into it. Now, fundamentally, ICF competencies, whether it's team coaching or whether it's personal coaching, is mounted on one similar platform. Okay, so the client or the personal coaching competencies and the team, they follow the same one. So this is the shell, okay, where you have it all down there for you, okay? Foundation, okay? Co-creating the relationship.
Michael, there's no slide.
Oh, sorry. Okay, wait, let me, what do I do now? Okay, let me stop the share. Let me share again. Let me share again. Can you see now? Can you see now?
Yes.
Yeah, now can. Thanks.
Now can,
Yes.
Yeah, the moment you don't see a slide, please give a shout. Then I know that it is not. Okay. The previous slide, did you see? The previous slide? This one?
Yes.
This is all right. Okay. So this is the one that is basically a set of what you call the framework of ICF competency that sits in well with the personal, or we call it the client, and the team coaching. Okay. So it's the same. So now let's look at this competency one by one and see how does that apply, or what does a team coach need to do to apply all these 8 competency. Okay, I have simplified it, I have condensed it into a very, very few, so that you don't have to remember so many things about ICF competencies, but I pick up the key ones that are very, very pertinent for you to take note of. Now, so it's divided into areas and key summaries. Now, so ethical practice number 1 is you have to treat the team as a single entity. Okay, even when you are claiming your coaching hours, let's say, but you're coaching 10 people in a team, you can only count the number of hours you spend with the team, but you cannot, for Ahmad, I spend 3 hours, this Florence 3 hours, Patricia 3 hours, and you add 3. So, and you say that, okay, the total number of hours for the 10 people, 3 hours each is 30 hours. You can't, you still take it as a 3. And you also treat people like they are really part of the same family. Okay. And you always make it very clear, whatever that you do in team coaching, when you are using mentoring, you tell your coach that, okay, I'm using mentoring right now, or I'm using something called reflective practice. I'm using coaching right now. I'm sharing with something. So they know that what they are going through with you. And you are multi-skilled. And a coach is one person that has got that multi-skill. I remember many, many years ago, I call a coach a multi-skilled a street fighter. He knows kung fu, he knows silat, he knows many things. So this is really coming through right now. You have that ability, and you got to demonstrate your knowledge and skill for team coaching. That means your integrated approach that you use. Now, when you treat them as a team, you are fair, you're objective, you are transparent. You ensure that everybody is given an equal voice. Equal. The word's equal. You can have, let's say, a big boss down there, and you have also, let's say, the secretary down there. But as far as you are concerned, you want the boss to know that he has to respect the team equality, and also to make those who are in the team, those junior people, not to feel slighted or feel, I'm in a group of people who are more senior than me, so I think my voice should be. No, you as a team coach, you ensure that everybody is given an equal voice and a loud voice as well. Okay, so that's a key thing of ICF. Number 2, you may need to partner with other experts Okay. If it's going to be like a fairly big contract that you have, you will need to work with other coaches, and that is already happening even for the other things, you know what I mean. But in team coaching, real team coaching, you may bring in universities to give lectures, you know what I mean. You may be using some other people to be inside this whole platform of learning. Okay, so you may need that expert depending on the needs of the team. Now, this is where you apply all the team development, what you call modalities, team building, reflective practice, group sharing or whatever that you do. You're using all those, you're able to use all those things as a team coach. So this is one requirement. So if you want to be a team coach, please have the skill. That's what ICF says. Okay, so far?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah? All right. Now, next, second competency of ICF embodies a coaching mindset. So these 8 coaching competencies of ICF will also come into effect next year, both for the client and both for the team. Yeah. So it's recommended that, if you have got a lot of team, if you are doing a lot of teamwork, it is recommended that you actually have got a coach supervisor to bounce through ideas with you. You're just like a CEO of a company, and the CEO of a company sometimes need to talk to a coach as a sounding board. So you may need that because the contract size is huge, and you need someone to bounce those ideas with. Okay, and you're always objective of aware of the team dynamics and patterns. Now, what is it here? So the coach supervisor will help you to reflect on your past events, current and future sessions. So what would be, let's say, if you are a coach supervisor, and if I'm a team coach seeking your advice, and right now I have got, let's say, a client that I've been working for 3 months, and I now right now seek a coach, a supervisor. So what would be a question if you're a coach supervisor that you ask me? I need help. Okay. So what would you be doing? What would be some of those questions that you ask? Ask me as the team coach. Okay, I give you a question, you think of the others. So how happy are you with the progress of your team coaching? How happy are you? Okay, I asked that question. Okay, so I have to reflect to tell you the honest truth about how I feel. So what would be another question that you will ask as a coach supervisor?
Are
Practicing
you
your,
relating it back to the original main goals?
are you say that again, Jeff?
Are you relating every one of the discussions back to the main goal?
Okay. Okay. That's a closed question. How do you turn that into an open question and make me think? Because that question will, the guy will say yes or no.
What can you do to relate everyone to the same goal?
Okay, there's no, it's reflection. So it's not co-creating with the coach, with the team coach. You want him to reflect on his action. How close are you in getting the team goal? Okay. What difficulties are you facing in getting the team members to achieve that goal? Where are you right now in that goal? Why are you at this stage? Okay, things like this kind. So it's reflective. Remember, it's reflective. You want them to go back, and think about the past. And you also talk about the current as well. Things like, how are you doing right now? What is the progress that you're making at this moment in time, or future one? So what do you have in mind? What's your next step? Okay, so these are all the future things that you also want to ask. So this is you need that sometimes, like, we need a coach needs a coach, and objective and aware of team dynamics. Okay, the team agenda, the disputes that are happening, the beliefs of the individual, the belief of the group, and also the culture of the group. There's certain culture in certain people. Like you may have got a team of advertising guys, and they're all very carefree. They swear at one another. They are very they are just a different bunch of people compared to, let's say, you're coaching somebody else from a very very disciplined kind of industry like army and soldiers and police and all that. You find that there are different culture. Now, how do you as a person fit in? How adaptable and how empathetic are you, and how aware are you of what's going on in the group? Okay, so these are the dynamics, and the dynamics are very very prominent in groups, as opposed to an individual. You only have one individual, mixed personalities and internal conflict. I may be in a group right now, but I don't like somebody down there. We have been enemies all the while. And here you are a team coach. You're trying to achieve a team goal, and yet see whether there's something you can do to bring these two guys together. Okay, so that's the embodies a mindset. So that's what a team coach would do. Now, the third one here is, establishes and maintaining agreement. Another very important ICF competency. And you know that in the class, we keep stressing on that. So what are they? Agree with all on goals, plans, and processes. Share responsibility by coach with leader and team. Okay, that job of the team coach is not just the team coach. Everybody down there has a role. Everyone down there, and we do that clearly. The ground rules are set very very early. Now here, you agree on the goals. Not only that, you are also able to maintain confidentiality. You share responsibility. Eventually, you also hand that ownership of whatever that you're doing to somebody in the team, a team leader, because the team doesn't die off after you leave. The team will, in some way, informally, they will be having their own meetings and gatherings and engagement, and you want someone to be a coordinator for it, just like in a WhatsApp group. You know what I mean? If you want a WhatsApp group to survive, you need to have somebody down there who is a project owner. When you have that owner, the main owner down there, the group will survive. If you don't have an owner down there, the WhatsApp group or any group for that matter will go. So you want to transfer that ownership. And that ownership later on can be transferred to another person on a rotational basis. Doesn't matter. But there is actually a handling over ceremony. Okay, so that's what you do in the agreement side. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at number 4. Cultivates trust and safety areas. Key summary. This is very common. We all know that. Create and maintain a safe environment, for honest, open team interaction. Wow, that's tougher. It's easier to get one individual to open up to you, but to get the whole team to open up to you and to each other, you require a lot more in you. And foster expression of individual members. Everybody has a chance to talk, and you encourage that in every member. Equal voice, equal platform, and all that. Okay, and safe space here, in other words, you respect client cultural context, where he's from. Like the word, what is it? And what's the word for it? And I know where this is coming from. We use those kind of words. So it refers to a context.
Is it inclusion?
And then, of course, free expression, empathy, on collective feelings, feeling of the group in totality, collective perceptions, collective concerns, collective belief. Okay, now, how would you as a coach know that? Let's say, for instance, there are two people here who say that we should cut costs, and the other guy say we should not cut costs. Okay, let's say two guys stood up and say that. But the rest are kind of like not saying anything, okay? And you as a team coach, you cannot accept, just have a discussion with these two guys. Somehow or another, you have to relate back to the group. But these two guys are the guys who talk a lot, okay? They're very confident, they are the ring leader, but we don't want them to overshadow the rest. Now, how do you then check on collective feelings on these two things? Ali say cut costs. Ahmad say don't cut costs. What would be a typical question that a team coach would ask?
What about the rest of the group thing?
Okay, that's one. How can you make that even more specific? Building on yours, Mio. How can you make it even more specific?
Who can tell me what? No?
How many of you
How many of you?
agree with Ahmad or Ali or whatever? And how many of you agree with the other party? And why? Why you agree? Why you don't agree? Okay, so these are all things that team coaches do. So then we know collective feelings, collective belief, and so forth. We always do polling, okay? Always checking, and always getting majority views. So that's 4. 5, maintain presence. Again, another very important ICF competency. So these are the areas here. Users appear a co-coach. You have peer coach. So why you need to have a co-coach and assistant coach, having to observe, because sometimes they're just too big and you want someone to just be your extra pair of eyes, and also to provide you with alternative options, perspective, and so forth. So you may need to use that, and that will help you, to be grounded. And always encourage reflective practice. Okay, so this is where think for a moment. Okay, everybody keep quiet, think for a moment, close your eyes, silent now. A lot of these things are used in team coaching. So it's not like like marketplace, a lot of things going on. There are going to be a lot of silent moments for team. We create space for the team. So reflect on their action and behaviors for greater team performance, and move in and out of coaching dialogue. That means, in other words, you actually should sit outside down there. You stir the conversation, let them, you orchestrate it, you watch it. You only enter it when it is necessary to keep the whole thing under control. But some of them don't even enter. After they leave, they don't enter. Then the whole team becomes havoc, you know what I mean? So you got to come out, but at the same time, you got to go in as well for harmony, control, and all that. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6, this is really, really, really important. It's also a competency in ICF. So here it is. The first one relates how perspectives are shared by each member to other members. By each individual, that means relate. Relate could be things like who agrees with this person. It can be a simple way of relating. Who share the same, who has got a similar experience. Okay, so these are all what you call you relate from an individual back to the team. So it's always back to the team, individual to the team, and team to the individual. It's always that kind of process that we will do. Okay, so you explore what's said, what not said for a deeper meaning as well. And then you also need to notice how each team members impact the collective energy. Okay, so when certain behaviors you need to highlight, somebody who is quiet, not talking, you bring them up. Or somebody who is talking too much, you say, can you just stay quiet for a while, let the rest, say a bit more, and then you come in and so forth. Things like this guy, you do that. And you watch that going on. And you always encourage team ownership. You turn the dialogue back to them. What is your decision as a group? Okay, so you own it. So the team coach don't make any decision. It's always a group decision. Turn it back to them to encourage team ownership in them. Okay, so this is the listening side of things. 7, we're coming to the end. One more to go. Evoke awareness, very, very important. Everything about coaching is about evoking awareness. Okay, challenging teams' assumption and behaviors and meaning-making process. And of course, using the non-directive methods as often as possible, which is Christian. So integrate and harness the multitude of these views from collective awareness. Challenge them, make them think hard. Who can better that idea? What if there's a better idea than what you have? Who can think of something even brilliant? You know, now we now have 5 ideas. Now, how can we put all these 5 together and make it one powerful one? So you can do that kind of a job. You know, you get them all coming up in pieces, but you know how to integrate it. You know how to harness it, and that is a team coach. Very strong in the facilitation, and of course, you don't always drive with Christian all the time as a coach. And finally, my dear friends, facilitate the client growth, only one area. Encourage dialogue and reflection for team to identify their goal and steps to achieve them. Here, you maximize team performance in every individual to achieve the team goal. So everybody grows, the team grows, the individual grows. They have ownership, they have their goal achieved, and all that. So dear friends, these are the 8 ICF competencies on team. So let me stop the share for a while and just get a little bit of a reflective practice. And then after that, we go to the last part. We are almost to that, towards the end already. So what do you think, my dear friends? Are you all guided now that you dare to take on an assignment and do a good job out of it? Or you're more frightened right now about team coaching and don't want to go into it? So,
More frightened.
huh?
More frightened.
Okay. Who are all of you like me, feeling the same way, or you all have got, some of you are like maybe more like, hey, I'm ready to go now because I think I have enough resources already. So what do you all think?
For me, I think it's really still very far for me to,
Okay,
but good to know.
good to know.
learn.
Yeah. So it's always good, like they say, to start off with personal coaching first
Okay, can
before
I ask,
you
right?
migrate to team coaching. Huh?
Evoke awareness part, right? For team coaching,
Yeah, can't hear you, Janice.
Oops. We lost her.
Lost her.
yeah. For the sorry, my question is for team coaching, right? Do we need to evoke the individual awareness? Huh? Hello?
Oh yeah.
Can you
That's,
hear
Hello?
yeah, yeah.
Hello?
Definitely. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Can
Can't hear you.
Mike, do you mind to bring up
yeah,
the
maybe I type.
Mike, can you bring up while she asked the question, can you bring up the slide on the evokes awareness again?
Okay, wait. Okay.
Oh.
Can you see it, Florence?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And what questions do you have to ask?
Okay. Yeah, I key in the chat already.
Okay, let me look at your chat. Your chat here says, for team coaching, do we need to evoke individual awareness or team as a whole will do? You need to do both. You need to do both. And why do you need to do both? Because if you just raise a so-called team awareness without the individual, so what it means is this individual don't agree with whatever that has come out, from the team in terms of your output. So the awareness must be like, oh, okay, now we all commonly, feel the same way, we all have our aha moment, we know, or the majority of us feel that this thing is good for us. So you need to have both.
Okay.
It is both, remember, team coaching is both team and individual development. That slide was shown in the very beginning. Remember that there are 2 things they need to do, individual and team. So both sides, both people must have that self-awareness.
Okay.
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 So this is that. Yeah, we are sharing right now. But before we end it, I just want to say this. We're going to have another session on the 31st of March, and I'm going to spend my time, and I think this is of great interest to you all. This framing and reframing. So let's spend 1 hour solid 3 months from now to talk about this. Okay, but before that, before we end this session, we still have a couple of minutes for some
discussion around team building before we close for the year and open up a new one in 2 days' time.
Mike, I have a question, please.
Yep.
And maybe a proposal. Well, thank you for this session. It's amazing. My comment would be on team coaching. I mean, it's easy for us to see one-on-one coaching, and sometimes we mentor some of those coaching. But team coaching, they are not as much, and it's not easy for us to attend. So, is there a way that we can see a real team coaching in action?
You know, I was looking into YouTube. I thought that maybe I will be able to get something out and even show it here. None. I thought I only saw one only, you know, and it was more of a lecture, you know. But there was no nothing of that kind actually that you can see, you know. Unless of course we have a special clinic and then we somehow or other, you know, do some of those kind of things ourselves and we just learn some skills among ourselves, you know, and have a working session. Maybe we do that one of these days. But really, there's no place to watch it. Not that I know. Maybe Province will know. Province is really, really good in all these things. Is there anything on team coaching that the coaches can, you know, get hold of?
No, not at the moment.
Yeah, don't have.
I think the
Dr. Mike,
scary
is
part
this
about
new
team
team?
coaching would be, the scary part about team coaching would be to manage the session, because there might be different dynamics, agendas, politics between the team members, and you might be caught in between two stools over here. So
Yes.
it's very, very complicated to manage the dynamics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're not a strong coach, you're not a very assertive coach, and yet a coach who is seem to be fair, who inspires, you know, harmony and all among them, and because of you, the good practice of you, they somehow or other tone down because they saw somebody up there who, you know, who exudes and demonstrate those kind of stuff. You know what I mean? No? So the team coach becomes a very powerful figure in many sense of the word. He displays, he role plays many of those things in the team, watched by, you know, 10 pair of eyes, 12 pairs of eyes on him. He really has got a lot to do to stand for, and also to be able to, you know, to role model that. Yes.
Mike, I have a suggestion for anyone who wants to watch for team coaching. It's not exactly ICF, right? But it's by Marshall Goldsmith. Have you heard this?
Yeah.
All right. Now, he speaks a little bit or quite a lot about team coaching, but it's his own way.
Okay.
Yeah. So have a look at that and you might like it. Marshall, M-A-R.
Yeah, we know that.
H-A-L.
So that means you go
right?
into Marshall and then you just go into team coaching. Okay?
He has quite because I've been listening. And Mike, doesn't it sound so familiar? Like 2 weeks ago, my proposal sounds exactly like this.
Really? Yeah. Okay, that's very good. Very good. Yeah. Okay. So, one or two other questions. We are very good with timing. We'll close the session on time.
Mike, I want to refer to that competency one you just talked about. The part on I think you talk about partnering, something about partnering.
Yeah, partner with other experts. Yeah.
Yeah. So in a team coaching session, how does this be demonstrated? You know, that they partner with
Okay.
other sources.
Yeah, good question. There may be one or two sessions where it is basically putting them back into a classroom to build their intellectual capacity, their content on a subject, let's say strategic management or marketing. And you actually have an expert that comes in the team coaching. He's not doing any team coaching. He's doing a lecturing session using the team coaching platform.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's not like together, one lecture, it's quite difficult. So it's like a separate session, 2 sessions devoted to this person, 2 sessions devoted to a psychologist, or 1 session devoted to somebody. And these guys come in and just provide that. And then after that, the team coach takes over from there to do the post.
Okay.
But maybe you can work together. I don't know. Something maybe I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of thing that they do where all these fellows will come in at the same time. But from my experience, usually they will come in separately. But the engineer, the main person, is still the team coach because it is his contract, his business. So he will be the one, you know what I mean, orchestrating the whole thing, signing the contract. You know, the fees and all these things will be done between him. The company will have no say in that because the contract is given, you know, solely to let's say if you're a team coach, to you, Florence, and then you go get you form it out to the respective people. Okay, dear friends. Any other questions?
I have one small one. Sorry, last minute. In the beginning, in competency one, right, you mentioned that specifically the hours calculated to the coaching, even though it's team coaching, yes, you go an hour of the coaching. However, when you do prior to that, the individual coaching, is that not counted?
That's counted. That's counted as an individual.
Okay.
That is an
I was a bit
individual.
confused.
So when
Thanks.
you are in a team, it's a team. Yep, correct. So it's like breaking up the team coaching into team coaching and personal coaching. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's a very good question. Okay, so dear friends, if you don't have any question, then Angelina, are you there?
Yeah.
Can we have a photograph? Because at the end of the year is so nice, huh? Before the end of the year, and let's have all people in the coach community to have one photograph together before we say all side to the year and welcome the next one. It'd be good, huh? To have your nice picture down there while Angeline, get our photograph taken. Take phone. Bob, are you there? Yeah, it'd be good to have your photograph. Thanks, San. Good. Yeah, handsome man. Bob, how can you hide your face, Bob? Guy from Vietnam.
Yeah. Hi, Mike.
Hi. Okay, Joanne, who's Joanne down there? And Joe? Yeah, Joe. Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, just a quick one. Hi, Joanne. How can you don't let me see your face, Joanne? Joe, are you not? Okay, Joe may not be there. Okay, never mind. We will take a photograph. Angelina, are you there? Okay. Yeah, let's smile. Huh? And we say goodbye to this year. We welcome a new one, and we really hope and we pray that that 2021 will be a good year for all of us and our family. And we should smile at this.
Angeline, you're muted, so we don't know you count.
Yeah. Angeline, you're muted.
When you count, we don't know.
Angeline, you're muted. Okay.
Okay. Wait, okay. Wait. Okay, ready? 1, 2, smile. Okay, should be okay.
Thank you, dear friends.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night and have a good year ahead. All the very best to you and your family.
Thank you,
Happy New Year,
Mike.
everyone.
Bye.
Be
Are you
safe.
sharing the recording
Dr.
with
Mike.
us, Mike? Are you sharing the recording? Because I missed the first few parts.
Okay. We normally don't do, but we try to make an arrangement for it. Huh? Okay. All right. Bye bye. Take
Hi,
care.
Dr. Mike,
Bye.
JNS, can I ask you one